heart of Europe, where the echoes of ancient civilizations still linger, lies a land calling out to the adventurous spirit. This is the backdrop for a 12-day off-road trip through Greece and Albania, where every twist of the throttle leads to new discoveries and unforeseen challenges. As we venture deeper into the wilderness, the terrain grew more treacherous, especially in the wet conditions. Challenging water crossings pushed the limit of our abilities and determination. However, our journey was not without technical difficulties. My KTM grappled with recurring issues stemming from the engine control unit, threatening to stall our progress at various points throughout the journey. As we followed the adventure country trek through the rugged terrain of Greece, we encountered obstacles that pushed us to our limits. But on the fateful 7th day, we encountered a worse setback. Jochen suffered a severe injury, forcing him to resign from the tour. It was a sobering reminder of the risk we face in pursuit of adventure. Yet, amidst the challenges, there were moments of unparalleled beauty. From the remote places far from civilization to the awe-inspiring Meteora monasteries and the breathtaking Vikus Gorge, the scenery was nothing short of breathtaking. But the journey was far from over. In Albania, we faced a formidable challenge of the Trans-Euro-Trail's southern section, where the beauty of the landscape was matched only by the difficulty of the terrain. Join us as we delve deeper into the heart of adventure, filled with new discoveries and unforgettable experiences. This is our off-road adventure through the captivating landscapes of Greece and Albania. In the first 6 days of our adventure, we faced a series of challenges and breathtaking moments as we journeyed through Greece and Albania. Starting with the tire setback in Munich, we embarked on a scenic route through the Dolomites to Venice, where mechanical issues with my motorcycle foreshadowed future obstacles. The ferry ride to Greece marked the beginning of our off-road expedition, with our first days unfolding through the scenic mountains of the Peloponnese and the Pindus mountain range, where we encountered muddy terrain on our first river crossing. Transitioning into day 4, we tackled the rugged terrain of the ACT Greece, facing technical trails and breathtaking vistas. The following days brought us through awe-inspiring mountain ranges and challenging river crossings, with each obstacle fueling our determination to push forward. Despite detours and uncertainties, the beauty of the landscapes and the camaraderie among our group kept us inspired as we ventured deeper into the backcountry. Start of day number 4. Bit of a late start because we had breakfast at 8 instead of 7 as the previous days. We're gonna stop at a supermarket and get some groceries, just some food for a picnic on the way. It worked out pretty well. Now you can see there's a little bit of blue sky. This is the first time we see blue sky on this trip, mixed with rain forecast. So we'll see what today's gonna bring. We've been pretty lucky the past 3 days that heavy rain forecast didn't really accumulate to anything until the afternoon. So either it was very close to us getting to our accommodation or right after. It's gonna be a long ride for us because we are extending the trip today and we're not staying at the recommended stop point. We're going to Meteora, where the monasteries are that sit on these rocks, on these rock formations. So we have quite a few more kilometers to go so we can see that. We are so close to it. so we didn't want to miss that out. So just when you leave Carpenese, you're rewarded with a nice curvy paved section. Nice flowing road. We were just really happy to see dry pavement in the morning. Whoa, check this out. Cool bridge. We're gonna find that bridge that we saw in the ACT movie. That was really pretty. Oh. Shit. Jochen had a few minutes head start, and by the time Sebastian and I caught up to him, he was already sitting next to his bike. Warte. Alles okay?
Gebrochen.
Was?
Der Fuß ist gebrochen.
Fuß ist gebrochen. Oh nee. Shit. Oh nee. Krankenwagen holen, ne? He had slipped on a small mud section, and in this effort to regain his balance, his left foot became trapped between his left pannier and the ground. Oh fuck. Resulting in a broken lower leg. Fuck. Welche Seite? Der da, rechts?
Ja, ich bin unter die Koffer gekommen, unter die Tasche gekommen.
Oh. Ist gebrochen, ja? Kurz warten, ja? Okay. The timing of the accident just 45 minutes into the day was both fortunate and unfortunate. But we were relatively close to the main road and not hours into the wilderness like in the previous days. It was still a distressing situation. Last night's destination, Carpenese, was the nearest sizable town where we could find medical help. Yeah, it's not very far. It's just off the pavement and then into the dirt road. It's very close to the main road. 3 people, including the injured person, yes. The ambulance and the police arrived promptly, about 45 minutes after the call was made. Despite the pain, Jochen managed a smile as the medics attended to him. However, he was understandably upset with himself for what deemed to be a stupid mistake. One of his requests was to have his motorcycle brought to the hospital, unwilling to leave it unattended in the middle of nowhere. The police were incredibly helpful, finding a nearby restaurant where I could safely leave my own motorcycle with all my belongings, allowing me to ride Jochen's bike to the hospital. The diagnosis confirmed Jochen's fear, a broken lower leg. It was a complicated fracture and my brother, a trauma surgeon, strongly recommended surgery in Germany. Fortunately, we all have insurance policies to cover the trip home for both Ryder and his motorcycle. Despite this setback, Jochen encouraged Sebastian and me to continue our journey along the ACT Greece route. Although our hearts were heavy, we honored his wish. With time constraints looming, we made the tough decision to deviate from the original plan and find another thrilling off-road track through the mountains.
Look at this road, wow. It's nice. Gotta say, still got the events of this morning in my head. It's not a good passenger when you're riding stuff like this. Just hoping to shake it off a little while.
So time to eat something. First time without Jochen.
So we don't have the Pro anymore.
Nope, what we have is cutting board. This should do it. So we can already see where we're going. Over there. That road, that's where we're gonna head. You can see it on the navigation system. So we have to go around that mountain and then we'll come out over there at some point. We still have 190 kilometers to go.
It goes like steep down to the side here. Wow.
Da ist nichts rüber. Also wenn ich das Ding jetzt nochmal anmache, der schickt uns geradewegs wieder zurück.
So the Google track is basically just gravel roads the entire time. The Garmin track would have backtracked us to where we started, so we didn't want to do that. But I guess we're out here where there aren't any paved roads to the next big city or town. So this is what you get. In a way, this is what we came here for, so that's good. Depending on how quickly we get out of this, we'll still be okay with daylight too. We're still okay. So we're about 5 minutes out from our accommodation tonight. And that's the scenery we're looking at. Absolutely breathtaking. Not sure how close we're gonna get.
As darkness descended, we made a spontaneous decision to visit the awe-inspiring Meteora site before retiring to our accommodation for the night. As if the Meteora rock formations themselves weren't awe-inspiring enough, the sun peeked out from under the clouds one last time, casting an ethereal glow over this incredible place in the most stunning sunset. After an eventful day, we felt incredibly fortunate to have timed our visit so perfectly, granting us a rare chance to witness the Meteora site bathed in such mesmerizing light. The following morning blessed us with the finest weather of the trip thus far, granting us another opportunity to view the Meteora site in gentle morning light. This UNESCO World Heritage Site features remarkable monasteries perched atop eroded rock formations. Despite the incredible challenges faced by the monks who built the monasteries during the 15th century, they stand as a testament to human ingenuity and perseverance.
Today is Saturday, a beautiful day, 15 degrees in the morning. It's shortly after 8, maybe 8:30 already. We're starting our day in Meteora. We're so happy to have this beautiful weather last night, and we actually got to see the sunset on one of these sunset viewing points up where you can see the monasteries. And today it looks pretty nice too, at least the morning. We have some cloud cover coming up in the mountains, so we don't know what it's going to look like. There's not a big chance of rain today, which is great. This is day number 5 of the ACT trek, and we took a bit of a detour to get to Meteora and see the monasteries. Now the decision for tomorrow was to either enter the trek somewhere in the first quarter probably and just skip the first few kilometers, or trace back to the starting point. We have time today, and since we missed a few hours last night, we're just gonna take the 40-minute ride and get to the entry point of day number 5, and then it's about a 250 kilometer ride from there. Now the last day of the ACT trek, the day number 5, has less percentage of off-road, but it's longer in trek, so there's quite a bit of pavement that we can expect, but still have some nice off-road treks. So I'm very curious.
On our final leg of the official ACT trek, we rejoined the designated route, albeit with a slight detour we took to explore the enchanting Meteora site, causing us to miss the off-road trails of this section. Only the first 20 kilometers of the official ACT Day 5 trek are indeed off-road treks, and our original plan was to cover this section at the end of Day 4 before heading to Meteora. The remainder of the ACT Day 5 trek leads along paved roads all the way to the Vikos Gorge. The journey to the next town of Metsovo boasted winding roads that were a joy to ride, although they paled in comparison to the exhilarating off-road treks of the previous days. A notable highlight along the way was the charming St. Nicholas Church nestled in the mountains. We made a brief stop to explore its interior and admire the surroundings before continuing on to Metsovo.
That's quite nice. There's a market going on. It's a Saturday today, I think. It's Saturday. So I want to see if we can have coffee. It looks like cheese and wines. I don't know if they do have coffee.
This bustling town serves as a hub for several small villages and settlements in the Pindus region, offering us the perfect opportunity to enjoy a coffee and browse the local market.
It's quite the happening place here. So we had a quick coffee stop and now we're back on our way.
In hindsight, I'm glad we added the Meteora site to our itinerary, as the last 230 out of the 250 kilometers of the ACT Day 5 trek are all on paved roads. The next 90 kilometers offered little excitement aside from this little turtles which we helped across the road, until we arrived at the gateway to the grand finale, the majestic Vikos Gorge.
ACT Greece, yo!
Der 5. war der heftigste Tag.
Ganz krass, nur Straße.
Da haben wir einen Mann verloren,
Ja.
aber die ersten 3 Tage waren...
Hi Jochen. Sorry to miss the last part. Next time, buddy.
Nestled in the Pindus Mountains in northwestern Greece, the Vikos Gorge is one of the most spectacular canyons in Europe. With a depth of about 1,000 meters, it holds the Guinness World Record as the world's deepest gorge relative to its width and is nicknamed the Grand Canyon of Greece.
The ACT Greece is behind us, and Sebastian and I have one more day together, and we decided to go north into Albania today to follow the southern part of the TET trek and see how far we get. And after that, Sebastian has to turn around and catch the ferry from Igoumenitsa, as he has to go back to Munich, and I'll be heading north, sort of slowly making my way back to Berlin again. So it's a beautiful day in Greece. It's 14 degrees out, sunny. It's definitely an interesting route to take us. Für die Grenze? Warte mal, nicht einfach durchfahren. Da kommt jemand. Hallo. Okay. Passport, okay. Aha.
Jetzt auch mal, ob ich da mit meinem Perso weiterkomme.
Insurance for traveling outside of Germany?
Usually I don't have that extra document.
For Greece, it's not necessary, but in Albanian, I don't know.
Okay.
You ask for insurance. It's a green card usually.
Okay.
You have to be equipped to travel to cross the borders.
Okay.
But here is European Union.
It's okay? Okay, good.
Albanian, I don't know Albanian card.
Okay, we'll see.
You don't have anything to declare. You are owners of the bike.
Yes.
Your registration, nothing. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Das wäre jetzt nicht nervig.
Aber vielleicht bieten sie sonst was an, dass man was kaufen kann oder so.
Ah, fuck ey, ich habe extra der Insurance auf Bescheid gegeben. Naja, wir probieren es jetzt mal gucken, wenn nicht, muss ich es abfotografieren lassen. Officially left Greece and now we're traveling into Albania. Unfortunately, I did not get my insurance, international insurance document from my insurance on time. I asked for it twice, so I didn't get it. Last time I didn't need it in Albania, but the Greek custom guard said I may need it. So this is gonna be interesting to see if this is gonna work out or not. Zeig ihm mal erstmal noch deine nicht, sonst guckt er blöd. Hello. Do you need me to take the helmet off? Yeah. Welcome to Albania. We made it across the border and now officially are in Albania. This is not a busy border crossing coming from Greece to Albania. So we have a little ways to go until we meet the official Trans-Euro Trail, which is then hopefully take us to some off-road tracks. Now I don't know how difficult they are. I was trying to get an idea from just watching a couple YouTube videos from other riders. Because obviously with these big bikes, there are certain parts that are hard or impassable depending on your riding skills. And I've had a few of those in the recent years where I had to turn around and I couldn't go. So we'll see what today's track is gonna offer, especially since we didn't ride a lot of off-road tracks yesterday. We're quite keen getting back into the gravel. And we can tell this road is very new. And it's an absolute pristine condition here, yeah. Wow. So welcome to the TED of Albania. We just joined the TED track and this is what it's gonna look like probably for a better part of the track. Just missed the TED track. I wasn't paying attention. So I have to sort of retrace the steps, find the track again. There's somewhere a turn off to the left that I missed. Genau. This is where we need to go. So we're still going further up the mountains. We don't have any regular roads on the maps anymore. We're like deep into the countryside. This is the kind of roads to get here.
I had nearly put the issue of the burned fuse for the engine control unit out of my mind, as it hadn't resurfaced for the past 1000 kilometers. Yet, here it was again. My engine died, just as we were attempting to depart from the picturesque spot at the bridge.
Oh, this durch.
Little did I realize at that moment that this wouldn't be the final encounter with this problem.
Warum? Weil es kein Mensch.
And the intervals between failures were getting shorter every
Ich
time.
meine, da ist auch nichts, was hier wackelt oder was hier irgendwie... Ich verstehe es nicht.
We were midway through our journey in Albania, navigating the southern section of the Trans-Euro Trail, when a deceivingly slippery patch of the dry tarmac caught me off guard, causing me to lose control of my motorcycle. Negotiating a corner with minimal lean and reduced speed as we sought out a gas station in Kolvoda, I was taken completely by surprise. Fortunately, both the bike and I escaped with only minor scratches from the incident. However, our troubles were far from over as we discovered a more pressing issue: the town's fuel shortage. With all the 3 gas stations depleted, a common occurrence towards the week's end according to the locals, our ability to refuel was severely hampered. This setback would later constrain our options in the off-road sections, leaving us with no option to backtrack, but only to forge ahead on our journey.
We're taking a little detour from the TED track because in the place we wanted to refuel, both gas stations, all 3 actually I think, it was out of gas. We're afraid range is not going to be enough to go into the mountains and run the risk of not getting gas there either because there aren't any big towns, and that was a big town. So we're trying something else now, just off the beaten path a little bit. So we decided to meet the TED track again because we didn't find anything. And we're shortcutting through these gravel roads back onto the track, so we don't have to take the paved section again. The TED track, after that small road This is the main road here. Alongside the mountain at 1100 meters above sea level, we arrived at the riverbed. Geil. Flussbett. Ist ja ein Riesending. Ein Riesending. Erstmal was bis hierhin geschafft, das ist schon mal geil. So we're just gonna have a quick peek around the riverbed. It's pretty long, it's really late, I'm out of gas and out of steam. So we're not gonna do the whole thing, and it may not be so advisable with such a large bike, because I have no option to turn around because I'm low on gas. But we will take a look, just a quick look, going along this part here. See what it looks like. But that's a very, very short part of it. So there's an alternative route from the TED to take you to Gamsch, which is a bit longer than what we were going to do. And we'll take the gravel road to the main road and then take the main road to Gamsch. 2.5 hours, according to Google. I'd feel much more comfortable if I had a proper amount of gas in the tank. Range is dropping really quickly. We're not even first quarter through this stuff here. 70 Kilometer Reichweite. 70!
Reichweite 70.
Aha. Das wird ein knapper Koffer, kann ich dir sagen. Vor allem hier zieht er natürlich wie ein Düsenjet. Check this out. Wow. Just a bunch of sand. Wow. This is big, loose rock. So. 1, 2, 3. Was? Okay. Okay.
Auf die Bremse.
Ich bin in dieses Kackloch rein, fahr mal oben rüber. Und das Loch hat mich voll so. Uink.
Vor 3 Tagen,
Keine Chance.
wenn das so einsaut und dieses Sand so matsch wird.
Da legst du die Karten. Can't build a road here, but a freaking memorial of some kind. That's hilarious. Ey, das ist eine krasse Strecke.
Eine Pause kurz.
Ja, auf jeden Fall.
As we ventured onto this trek in search of the quickest route to the nearest main road, we were unprepared for the challenges that lay ahead. Compounding our concerns, our fuel levels were low, leaving us with no option to backtrack. Thus, reaching the pinnacle of the trek brought us a sense of relief, knowing that we had conquered the highest point and the most difficult part. So we thought.
Look at these big ruts.
The downhill section of the trek proved to be even more challenging, with deep ruts and stretches of muddy terrain testing our skills. Reflecting on the trek's condition, we realized our fortune in traversing it under mostly dry conditions. Had it been wet, the trek would have been nearly impassable.
Kurz vorm Abschmieren.
Ja. Das ist einmal das Hinterrad, stand mal 90 Grad quer.
Oh. I'm stuck in that slimy stuff now. Are you kidding me? Holy shit. Oh. Ist nicht dein Ernst, oder? Alter. Das ist krass. Ey, wie willst denn du hier hochkommen, Mensch, mit einem Motorrad?
Hoffentlich müssen wir nicht umdrehen.
Ey. Little electrical KTM problem. That was just a fuse. Had to put a new one in. It took 10 minutes, 10 meters, and it blew again. I put a new one in just right now. Bike doesn't start. We're in the middle of fucking nowhere. Shit.
After the engine control unit fuse blew for the third time in quick succession, I began to worry if I would even make it off the mountain that day, especially with the low fuel problem adding to my concerns.
Schon wieder durch. Super.
Initially, I'd believed this was a problem with the motorcycle itself. However, I discovered a few weeks later that the relay of my SW Motec accessory lights was filled with water, causing the sporadic electrical failures of my motorcycle. Having used the accessory lights on my previous two motorcycles, it seemed the relay had lost its waterproofing over time.
So I'm just happy about every... Whoa. Every kilometer we're making with this. Wow, look at this. So we're almost done with the off-road part. This is the main road. Put a new fuse in. Hope it's gonna last a bit longer than the last one, which was just 10 meters. But it's so sporadic that I will, I'm thinking about cutting a trip short and taking the ferry back with Sebastian tomorrow.
We got one final look into the mountain range that took us more than 2.5 hours to traverse from the time we left the riverbed. Looking back on the past few days, the off-road treks in Albania were the most challenging for us, but also the most rewarding. We were now set en route to the nearest town of Grumsh, where we hoped to find accommodation and fuel for the bikes, and suddenly the road felt eerily familiar.
We are on the SH71, and I remember this road from my very first time here in Albania, which was just an on-road tour. And I took this road. It takes 100 and something kilometers, almost no traffic.
We had rescued a few turtles crossing roads in the past days, but these guys were taking the cake. They must have fallen asleep during the egg in the middle of the only main road in a 25-kilometer radius. We made sure to relocate them safely off the side of the road for good karma and continued our way to Grumsh. We arrived to town with empty fuel tanks and found accommodation near the town square. here on their small bikes. As our journey neared its conclusion, our focus shifted to returning to Igounomitsa to catch the ferry back to Italy. Initially, I had planned to extend the adventure by riding north through the Balkans with Jochen. However, with Jochen retiring early from the tour and the frequency of failures on my motorcycle's engine control unit increasing, I made the decision to cut the trip short and return home early with Sebastian, who was planning to leave early from the tour due to work commitments.
Our Dutch guys here, have a good one. We were just standing here, pumping up our tires with a battery-powered pump. This nice gentleman is walking down the street there. Came out of this garage and offered to give us pressured air. The gas station didn't have any, but this random place does. But it was too late, we were already filled up. So, full pressure, off we go. So after quite a few kilometers of just straight road autobahn, we met the next largest city, not sure how to pronounce it, Vlora. So in city traffic, kind of keep your eyes peeled here, a bit crazy with traffic. They've got these speed bumps and people slow down to an absolute halt to go with these speed bumps, and then after that there's the roundabout like this one here. We're back at the sea. This is the Mediterranean Sea. First time we're seeing it after we spent some time in the mountains now. We'll be going alongside the Mediterranean Sea for a while until we go back into Greece.
So we made it to the beach, and there's a nice beach cafe, and this is the view we're getting.
Now we're heading down the coastline of Albania all the way to the border of Greece. So there's this little pass, the Mogara Pass, which we're going up to right now. Some hairpin turns going up a mountain. So Albania has some fantastic roads. This is one of them. It's not very high, it's 1,000 meters right now. So we're going the route from north to south. This is probably nice coming up too.
As we were descending down the pass, this abandoned structure caught our interest, and we had to pull over to take a closer look.
Richtig gut.
Coole Stadt.
Yeah, this abandoned building. Not sure what this is. Well, it looks cool. Looks like the beaches are nicer down there too. Das ist aber bestimmt kein Swimmingpool hier. Nur doch fast runterfahren können.
This abandoned site, known as the Big Bunker, holds historical significance. Positioned strategically on the slope of the Cyronian Mountains overlooking the Adriatic Sea, it stands at an elevation exceeding 600 meters, providing an ideal vantage point for spotting ships. A crumbling 3-story building makes up the bunker's main structure on a particular scenic hairpin turn of the road.
Okay, Sebastian is definitely too tall for this. He hit his head. We saw some rats too. Gucken, wo wir hier rauskommen, Mensch. We are still at the coastline of Albania. We just stopped for lunch a short while back. Met this really interesting guy who's been traveling for almost a year now. He's finishing his tour in Europe. Okay guys, so this legend here is from Brazil, traveling the world for 1 year. And that's his bike. What's your name?
Pedro.
Pedro, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Now we have about 100 kilometers left until we hit Igounomitsa, and somewhere in between we'll cross the border from Albania to Greece again. This is the tiny ferry that's gonna bring us across the water gap. We're in Butrint, so the southern tip of Albania. Gleich rattert's, pass auf, rapapap.
While castles may not be the first thing that comes to mind when thinking about Albania, the country boasts a share of impressive fortifications. and the Ali Pasha Castle is among the finest. Situated near the UNESCO World Heritage Site of Butrint, Ali Pasha Castle is nestled amid picturesque waters, accessible only by boat with the assistance of local fishermen. Inhabited since ancient times, Butrint has served as a Greek colony, a Roman city, and a bishopric through its rich history. Flourishing under Byzantine rule and briefly controlled by the Venetians, the city eventually fell into decline during the late Middle Ages due to the formation of marshes in the surrounding area. Today, Butrint stands as one of Albania's most significant archaeological sites, boasting a wealth of cultural, historical and natural treasures. Recognizing its importance, Butrint was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1992 and later established as a national park in the 2000s.
And the documents for the bike too? Yep.
After crossing the border into Greece, we had a brief ride to Igoumenitsa, where we stayed overnight to catch the early morning ferry. Thankfully, we were able to check in the night before, giving us some extra time before boarding the ferry to Venice. With our motorcycles safely stowed on deck, we embarked on the journey back to Italy. We encountered rain for most of the ride and a last-minute mechanical issue along the way before we reached Munich. However, there was one more important stop we needed to make: a surprise visit to see Jochen in the hospital.